Hey guys, welcome back to Coin Knowledge. So today we're going to be talking about Play, Play Network, which is formerly known as Ready Games. Now this is a project that we talked about quite early on, long before they TGE'd, long before this rebrand, back when they were Ready Games. But as we can see here, they did go ahead and launch their token. Now we're going to recover the project a little bit in case this is the first time you're hearing of Play, and give you guys my opinion here on some bullish catalysts that could be coming for this ecosystem, covering the launch, and again, just what the project is. And as always, if you guys get value out of the video, if you guys could, subscribe to the channel and like the videos. Your support means a lot. So if we take a look here at Play Network, obviously they are more of an infrastructure play in the gaming side. So if you're a developer, they are kind of a Kickstarter or an incubator platform for developers as well, where you can build on Play. They say that they have well over 130 games in studios and growing already using their platform. Play's Layer 3 platform offers plug-and-play infrastructures built on Layer 0 for seamless, interoperability across blockchain networks to integrate Web3 functions. Now, if you take a look, they do have some pretty big partnerships as well, stuff like Merit Circle, Cease Thrift, Black Dragon, a couple others as well. We'll take a look at their fundraising here in a minute. If we go down here, you see that they're supported across a bunch of different chains, especially if you do want to build on them. Now, they say how to build on Play if you are. Well, you connect, you open a developer account, you build, then you enhance. So the whole point is that for developers that want to start building their projects, Play Network is supposed to be a platform that kind of streamlines that, makes it a little easier for them to get up and going. So, being more of an infrastructure play in gaming, we always do cover that infrastructure is essentially like the pitch and forks of the potential gold run that could be, or the gold rush that could be crypto gaming. As I do think it is still a hot narrative this cycle, one that we are seeing across, a lot of narratives and markets across the market right now. We're seeing it as a sector kind of dip a little bit, which is why you can look at newer projects like this that have kind of ran up but consolidated and retraced for potential entries. So if we take a look at Play, so that is their developer side. And then if you are a player, you can play any game, any chain. How it works, kind of the same thing where you just play games, you get tokens, NFTs, you can own your gameplay. So Play on the player side of it also makes it easy to kind of track all these different games in one platform. Nothing too crazy there as far as an infrastructure play in my opinion, but they do have it all integrated into one nice platform as well. Now, if you do want more of an in-depth video on Play or Ready Games, again, we did do that initial more of a deep dive on Ready Games. You can find it on the channel here. So this is just a refresher on what Play Network is as well, especially when we look at their About Us. We can get a little bit more information here about what their mission is. They aim to build a collective gaming ecosystem as well. They do have their kind of their roadmap, their journey, as they say. So they've been building for a long time, since 2021. So they have been building for a while. Again, we see more of those partnerships there as well. If you take a look at their team, on their team tab, we can see that some information on their team as far as their names or LinkedIn, Twitter. So you can find more information here as well. Some of their advisors. So yes, it has to be brought up that Alex Becker, a huge influencer, is an advisor of this project, one that he's already talked about in the past. So there is always the potential, if Alex Becker does talk about it in a future video, that could have some kind of impact on the price action. Not that that is the most important thing, but just something to make note of as well. Now, when we look at the fundraising of Play, I believe they did raise more than this. I do believe, but just according to what we can see on CryptoRank here, they raised upwards of $17 million. Now, the ICOs, they're actually down on their initial investment, pre-seed, seed. They're essentially at a break even right now. This thing, I believe the initial pre-rounds market cap was supposed to be 160 FTV. Obviously, we are down beneath that right now. So a lot of the early investors are actually down on their initial investment. But if we take a look, we can see that Play Network is essentially fully diluted. They went the fair launch route, which we've seen on many other projects in the gaming space here recently. Take stuff like Xborg, Seed World, Super Champs. Those three projects all did, essentially almost fully diluted. They did centralized exchange or DEXs only, no centralized exchange listings, which is what Play has gone ahead and done here, and it has done quite well for them. Now, we did see Play out the gate, they did launch at about a $25 million market cap around there, and then they did go up to about 45 million, came back down, and this thing touched upwards, getting close at about $75 million in market cap, and then it did consolidate for a little bit, and then obviously we had the recent market dip with all the different, real world news and events and meetings going on, stuff we've covered in the past. But so we did see play fall all the way back down, if I can catch it, about the mid 30s in market cap, and now it's just been consolidating, for the last week here, roughly about a week, couple of days. It's just been consolidating around this 40 to 50 million dollar market cap range. Now I do think play is going to, in my opinion, break 100 million, quite quickly, seeing as how a lot of the early investors are currently down. The money they had raised was a lot more than what market cap and values they launched with. They did a little bit of restructuring as far as tokenomics go before they launched, so they did change it from the initial launch plans, which again, they wanted to steer more towards a fair launch evaluation, launching again essentially fully diluted and dexes only, because that does, as we've seen with other gaming projects, only opens the door for future catalysts as far as exchange listings do go. Now, if we take a look at play, they say that they are pioneering the infrastructure for Web3 gaming and dev creator economy. 30 million, monthly active users playing 2,000 plus games as well. So they do have a little, blurb here as well if you want to know a little bit more, what play is. So the largest game developers building on play, business model, their investors, tokenomics. So they do see about 85% of the tokens were unlocked at TGE. So essentially fully diluted, pretty close, especially for a gaming project. The dilution's not a concern here, which cannot be the same, or cannot, be said the same for all gaming projects. So that is a bullish aspect as well. They've done plenty of AMAs. I mean, they have big influencers like Alex Becker advising them, like Virtual Bacon talking about them as well. Now, again, we always say that influencers are not that huge of an important factor, but to ignore them and say that they don't move the price needle would be, ignorant, as they do. So, but another bullish factor of play, in my opinion, is that they are on the base ecosystem. So when we look at, games, especially infrastructure gaming projects on the base ecosystem, there's not a whole lot. We see plenty of great individual games, stuff like Super Champs with their Champ token, which has done quite well following this fair launch model. Stuff like Heroes of Mavia, which is also just kind of a single game. But as far as infrastructure plays, in the gaming sector on base, I do think it's not that many, especially on a quality standpoint. When you compare it from stuff like Ethereum, BNB, Avalanche, Solana even, base, whereas it is a growing ecosystem, it is still a young ecosystem. You can't ignore the fact that it is still going into its first cycle. So it is, still quite early on. But I do think being on base and being a quality gaming infrastructure play, one that has been building for years, generating that hype in the background, still being at a low FDV, about a 50 million FDV, does leave the potential room for a lot of growth here, because with all the bullish factors behind Play Network, I do think that this is something that if you're looking for a project that ticks all those boxes, then maybe take a look at Play. Or if you still thought Play was Ready GG and you were waiting to get updates or waiting for the Ready GG token to come out, well, it has done so. Again, it has just been rebranded to Play. That is why. So maybe you guys did not know that since our last video, or maybe you just weren't aware of it. But either way, Ready GG, Play, it's the same project. They just rebranded and they did launch. Again, they TGE'd on, I believe, the 10th of December here, but still a pretty low market cap. It might have even been, actually, I think a couple days. No, it was December 10th. So, we saw $75 million market cap. And now we're at a 50 million, up from about those, $30 million levels. So as far as where Play could go from here, I do think Play does have the potential to, still pull multiple X's, in my opinion. Obviously, nothing I say is financial advice, just giving you guys my opinion. But the fact that they do, have a good infrastructure model, they are working with developers and players. They do have those major KOLs, influencers backing them as well, as far as just regular good, backers, as far as investors go. And the early investors aren't really up that much because they had changed some of their tokenomics launch a little bit before TGE as well, and the fact they went fair launch being essentially fully diluted, and they don't have any centralized exchange listings currently. Those are future catalysts that could come to play for the Play token. So it is something that, I do want you guys to be aware of. They have plenty of games already in their ecosystem, as you can see here. The website hasn't changed too much since it was Ready GG, so that's why if you want a little bit more of an in-depth, that video is still there. But either way, guys, that is my quick recap on Play. Just letting you guys know that they did go ahead and TGE'd. Now, the coin has been out for a little bit here. We've seen it kind of form a little bit of a chart, even though it's not much, obviously, but they have came down a little bit from that initial run up to 75 million. And I do think if you're looking, for a base gaming infrastructure play, not just an individual game, but more of a gaming infrastructure play on base, Play is a great option, especially following the success of the recent fair launch values that we have been seeing from, projects here recently. We can look at Champ, with the Super Champs token, and we can see right now they're at a 68 million, but I think they almost touched 100 million, and they're also on base, and they followed the same thing as far as the fair market or the fair launch. It's not going to show me the market cap, but they did get up to about 100 million, and this thing at one point I want to say was at like a $7 million market cap, something around there, $7 or $10 million market cap. So, and you can see no centralized exchange listings, base essentially fully diluted, same setup as Play, except Play being that more of an infrastructure play. So let me know your guys' opinion on Play, if you guys are bullish on it, bearish on it, if you guys were aware of the rebrand or the fact that the Play token had already hit the market. Where do you think this project's going to go? If there's other projects in the gaming sector that you think we should cover or talk about a little bit more, or if you just want questions answered on any of your favorite projects, please comment them below. I try to answer all your guys' comments. And again, thank you for taking the time to watch the video. I do appreciate it. And as always, if you guys want an optional way of supporting the channel, there is a Patreon linked below, or the Discord you can get into as well. And if you guys got value out of the video here today, if you guys could like the video, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share the video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right. See you guys.